Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Camppatton Family Compound. It's time for Friday night on the Homestead, and tonight's topic, well, it's minerals for your garden. How's everybody doing out there? Let's see. Oh, got more coming in here, so let's go over and set to the actual chat here and say hi to everybody. All right, first one in was Walt Rogers, followed by Phelan Klein Wolf, and Lewis was third, and he also said that he's been a member for 17 months. I got Troop 1351 here, Shady Hill Homestead, Chef Tech is here, Guardian Prepping's here, Angels Homestead, and Kaylin Strain so far that are checking in. We got more watching. I can tell by the numbers up there in the corner. So with that, just a reminder, I still have the banner going from, get rid of that one, from last night. All right. So if you're just watching and stuff, want to let you know lurking's fine. However, please hit the thumbs up, and if you can, you just say lurking, and that'll be fine too. All righty, and Geeky Gardens is here. All right. I'm not sure. Let's see. No, he didn't reply back yet. I've sent some emails off to Ron Netzel. He replied, and I'm not sure if he's going to make it tonight or not. So for those who don't know, Ron is the Green Wizard, and his book, The Green Wizard's Guide, is all about natural horticulture for your garden and your lawn and your entire yard and everything like that. So he's got a good section in his book about minerals and stuff. And I froze again, and I hope you'd show up to be able to say, I'll give a few words on it and everything else about it here. Wondering if you need a rowboat. Oh, hang on, this is a thing. Okay, just trying to catch up all the comments on the chat there, trying to figure out what's going on. All right, so how do I want to put this? You know how you have to how you have a multi-vitamin and multi-mineral you're supposed to be taking every day? Well, minerals are good for us. Well, minerals are also good for your garden. And if your garden isn't getting the minerals it needs, it can't put those minerals into the foods you're harvesting from your garden. That means you can't get those minerals from your garden. You got to get them from other sources. So that's the main gist of what tonight's going to be about. Let me see what I got over here. I got a couple slides here to show you guys. All right, yeah. So if you start with your garden being healthy, you'll grow bigger vegetables. So plain and simple, start healthy, grow bigger. It doesn't mean you can't take a sickly garden and make it healthy. Just that means you're losing all that time in growing bigger fruits and vegetables. Exactly. If you put all the minerals into your garden, then you don't need the pills. All right, so let's go over here. And I found this from a bunch of different sources, different graphics on it and stuff, and they're all agreeing pretty much, soil composition, 25% water, 25% air, 45% mineral, and we're going to address that here in a second, and 5% organic. Now, some of you are going to say, but Howie says, you need to, I have all the organics. Well, a lot of the organics that can be put out there are actually minerals in them. And the minerals are not solid. That's one thing you got to know. Minerals are not solid. There's a lot of things in minerals that spread out throughout everything. And so just off the top of my head here, some of the minerals for you guys to consider: calcium, phosphates, I just had to bring it. Okay. Magnesium, potassium, in the minerals is included the stuff like potash and stuff like that. I'm thinking of the one right now. I can't think of it on the top. It's on the tip of my tongue. They use it for making black powder. Saltpeter. Saltpeter is a good one there, a compound there. It's actually is considered mineral. It's not considered organic, but it's an organic mineral thing. So yeah, so saltpeter, iron. Hey, need iron as well. Especially for our blood and everything. So you need to have iron in your diet, and so you need to be able to grow plants and stuff that will convey these minerals from the soil into the body of the vitamins. Into the body of the vegetables, so that they can provide you these vitamins and minerals you need. But phosphorus, yeah, there's just about any mineral you can think of, the human body needs some. And there are a lot of minerals that than what most people think of that we need. I use eggshells, coffee grounds, mushroom compost. Also, your eggshells are your calcium and a couple other minerals as well. But everyone thinks, oh, eggshells. Okay, I'm back. Yeah, okay. Thought I had it caught and it just stayed frozen, changing up the camera settings on it. Yeah, so yeah, that was a big freeze there, Mark. Yeah, so like and even in coffee grounds there are minerals. Don't know about mushroom compost, but I would probably guess there is. Man, what's going on? It's just constantly freezing. It's like this maybe the internet in the area, everybody else in town's doing something screwy on the internet and using up all the bandwidth on it. Wow. Okay. Let's get over here. So there's a bunch of minerals, and we're going to go through a bunch more of them here that you can need to add to your soil. Now, azomite is one that a lot gets a lot of talk about. And so azomite is mined from mineral-rich volcanic ash deposit. It contains over 67 trace elements essential to plants. Read that again. Contains over 67 trace elements essentials for plants. Oh, Angel says the mycelium in the mushroom compost. Okay. And, the mycelium transports minerals and stuff back and forth as well. All right. So, and that's one of the things commercial growers do not consider. I think a bug flew into my eyes here. All right. So, you figure all the big egg farmers and stuff, they're not putting out minerals out very often at all, if at all. And so the crops they're growing and harvesting are pulling all the minerals from the soil, and the soil keeps getting poorer and poorer and poorer. And so they keep spraying on all these chemical nutrients on there. And the chemical nutrients getting sprayed on there, are providing, adding some nitrogen back into the soil, which if the soil had all the minerals in it, would be pulling from the air through the plants and get everything. So there's a whole bunch of things that if the mineral content is up, the plants can do more. They can pull more carbon dioxide from the air. They can pull more nitrogen, and do everything so much more. And you can buy Amazonite, yeah, whatever. Amazon, yeah, I can't even talk here, folks. Asmomite from a lot of different sources. And there are plenty of videos out there that just talk just about this alone. And there's a bunch of articles out there. So you can, do a little research on your own and, find out exactly how much you want to do, what use of this. But some of the other things to consider is there's also stuff called green sand. And the green sand is basically, the green sand is a result of the glacier sliding and grinding everything up, and they get stuff building up into, I get all the sand deposit, which is basically, hey, green sand is basically the ground up granite, and all the other rocks and stuff, all those minerals are all ground up into real fine sand, and then underneath the glaciers, the light getting to it and stuff, and things happen to it with microbes and stuff growing in the sand and trying to grow there, and it changes the color of green. There's also some stuff from New Jersey. It's called New Jersey green sand as well. Our treasured Homestead, welcome. And so the green sand has a lot of the minerals and stuff in there, and it really provides a lot of good help for that. Now here's the Jersey green sand, and then the other one is the having a brain fart. I can't remember it. It's right, having a brain fart on what the other one is, but it's more other minerals and stuff working together with it. And so these are all things you can add to your soil. You can go to the you can find some of these you can find some types of green sand even at Walmart, but you can find them at at your local nurseries. You can find them at Lowe's and Home Depot and Ace Hardware. And they got other things as well, like the garden lime and the activated gypsum, both of which are variants of calcium. And that's the last one I have of that. So let me go ahead and get that. This out of the way here, drop it down. But yeah, I was really hoping that Ron can talk for hours on this stuff and pulls up little bits of tidbits that even after I read his book several times, I still keep on forgetting or missing about it. So if any of you want to come up and talk about how you put minerals into your soil, what minerals there are, there's the link, and I'm going to pull up the something here, the green is really, Amazon really does not want to go to it. They make me type the entire name in. You type some words in, Amazon starts to give you things. As soon as I got past green and I got halfway through Wizard, it stopped giving me the suggestions for it. But so here, the Green Wizard's Guide. Right now, it's free if you got Kindle Unlimited, or $9.99 to buy on Kindle, and you get the paperback for $13.95. Let me go and say a little bit bigger into it here. Yeah, Ron put a lot of work into this, and it's interesting. He also put notes in there to some of it when he first published it, to a bunch of the videos he had out at the time talking about it. And so there are blank pages for you to go watch the videos and take notes and write notes in there. And there's all sorts of note pages throughout the book. So really good information there on it. So anyways, so yeah, so I got mine back in 2020. And yeah, I've read it through about 3 or 4 times now, completely, and I've also spot read on it a bunch more. All right. But yeah, the one of the things I have noticed, and this is going to make people make it some of you conflicted about it. So in my lawn, I've been eliminating all the crap, all the name brand crap you add to it to have a greener lawn. And one of the things that has happened when we stopped adding that crap to it, we started getting more dandelions. Well, Ron says, well, that means your soil is low in calcium. So I went and I got some of the activated gypsum or the fast acting gypsum, and I put it in the little spreader thing, and I wheeled all over the place. And I put it on. I thought, once I went through, I go, crap, did I put that on too heavy? A lot of the dandelions started, not dying, but not growing strong, because all of a sudden there's a lot of calcium there. And that's a dandelion too. They bring calcium up. And when the dandelions went through their cycle, put off their seeds and stuff and everything else, and they wilt and die, and the next batch is supposed to come up. Well, the next batch didn't come up. And so I continued watering stuff. And about 2-3 months later, then I started getting more. I go, oh, I better put some more out there. I put some more of the fast-acting gypsum out, and it stunted the growth on it because there was all of a sudden a bunch of calcium in the soil of the lawn. So it wasn't what's the word that Ron and Howie like to use on it? It wasn't a golden environment for the dandelions to grow because there was plenty of calcium in there. And then I started, making manure tea from all the cow compost that was left here on the property. And when I went out there and started put out there, I ran it through the sprinklers. That was smelly, but ran it through the sprinklers. All of a sudden, everything's greener because it's getting natural fertilizer. Hello, Tennessee Tactical Ones here. Bone meal and fertilizer concentrate. Yeah, but what is it? Is it a natural fertilizer concentrate, or is it an organic fertilizer concentrate? One of the things my wife likes to use is the fish emulsions. She goes, yeah, it stinks, but it's natural, and there aren't added chemicals to it, and it really gets stuff going for the garden. I just had a thought. I was trying to remember whatever there was something else that you can put out there to help to bring up the iron level in it. Oh, organic Miracle Grow. That's an oxymoron, contradiction in term. To explain that, Jeremy, a good friend of our families that we've known since I was a teenager. Kathy Eccles, she was the head of the horticulture department for Contra Costa County's college system, the 4 junior colleges, and she was in charge of that. And you want to check her off, say Miracle Grow. Her response is, it's a miracle it can grow after you feed it that stuff. There's another thing yeah, blood meal, yeah, that people add that to it. Because basically what the Miracle Grow is known as a plant steroid. It smells like kelp and biochar are supposed to be good. Yeah. All right. Around here, the IBC totes I get around here in Idaho, the ones I can get a hold of are from non-agricultural places. The agricultural ones, they won't sell because they mix different chemicals in it. They just recycle, add different chemical fertilizers to it and stuff. In California, the ones I got in California all had kelp/seaweed fertilizer. And the one time we got one, and it still had the placard on it and everything else on it and stuff, listing everything in it. And there was 6 inches of seaweed fertilizer left in the bottom of it. Yeah, we had some green stuff, green garden after we put that out. Thanks, Jeremy. The one of the things, so basically there are test kits you can get, and the more elaborate test kits you get, they're going to cost a little bit more, but they do more things. They'll tell you which minerals you're lacking in. That's not the word I wanted, but deficient in, and which ones you're good in, and it gives you proper pH reading and all that other stuff. I finally got a reading on my pH reading on some of my soil that I've been adding biomass to and stuff. 8.5. Yeah, I need to get lower that down. I need that a lot lower so the plants are happier. But and certain sulfur is another mineral. Sulfur does help to lower the pH of your soils as well. Oh shoot! So much things. I was hoping that he was going to be able to get. I was trying to remember stuff to make notes on, and I forgot about the sulfur. And then there's also sulfur blends and stuff. Yeah, partial bag of Miracle Grow potting mix found in the laundry room. Got mixed up with a lot of organic stuff. That's the thing is, the Miracle Grow gives you several weeks of good growth. It's a steroid for plants. And just like steroid for people, steroids for plants aren't good for long results. And so you're adding other stuff to it. So yeah, you're putting other stuff in there to keep it, to make it once it burns through the Miracle Grow steroid, there's other stuff in there for the roots to get to it and add stuff to it on that. Oh. Let's see. Well, that's one of the things is there are several channels that they talk about if you have weeds. Weeds are a sign that the soil is deficient in certain things. And so depending what the weed is, and I don't know what all they all are, I can't remember them. I've read some things on it. I've read articles on them. But each weed or each group of weeds indicates there's something wrong. Like dandelions is a big indicator of the lack of calcium in the soil. And there's several other ones that show up that talk about and do the same thing. I forget what star thistle is. When it's there, it's one of those things. So one of the things you got to do is, figure out what weeds you're coming up with, and then go find one of these charts. Let's see if I can find one of those charts. Okay. Your soil is MISS. Let's see if this comes up. So, just looking at what I typed in was what weeds indicate your soil is missing. And the AI, this is the AI, so take it with a pound of salt, which is, believe it or not, a little bit of salt is good for the soil. Too much kills it. Okay, just a little bit. All right, certain weeds indicate specific soil deficiencies, such as lamb's quarter is low phosphorus, high nitrogen and potassium. Clover, low nitrogen. Dandelion, low calcium. Red root pigweed, imbalanced iron and magnesium ratio. Mullein prefers acidic soil with low fertility. In other words, bad stuff. It's a bad soil. Horsetail indicates a calcium deficiency. Burdock suggests low calcium and high potassium levels. Knapweed grows in soils with low calcium, humus, and phosphorus. Oxydaisy, big old long name after it, thrives in soils low in phosphorus, high in potassium, and high in magnesium. Sow thistle indicates a dry, heavy, acidic, and iron deficient soil. And then there's certain of the weeds grow better in low pH. Others grow better in high pH. I'm gonna see if I can find a chart for this that I can share with you guys here. CHART chart, and then go to images. I'm gonna make that bigger. Yeah, there are a bunch of different ones up here. Listing the different ones, and I'll show what that was. Scout. All right, that's not really showing good stuff. Morning glory sub, Eastern black nightshade, common lamb's quarter, common ragweed, giant ragweed, all different ones. And when they come in better and stuff, but there are. I can't even read that one. Even when I put it up there, I can't read it. It's so small. Jeez. Yeah. Some of these you'd have to get it and blow it up and print it off. And that one, even though it's big, it's blurry and it's not focused, so they didn't do it right. That's just common types of weeds. Okay. So nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, sulfur, calcium, magnesium, iron, manganese, boron, copper, and zinc, and molybdenum, BDENUM. And so, yeah. All right, let's go back here and see. We're warming up again. We got cold for the last 10 days after having some nice warm days, and now we're warming back up again. But yeah, so you can just type in, what weeds indicate your soil is missing, and you can find a bunch of different charts on it, and what they indicate. But yeah, there are different things. They're just going all different ways on these charts. Probably want to find an actual article on. All right, this weed means you're doing that. Dang, I wish you could. Usually, I get these about at least every other day or every third day. I get a video from Soil something or other, and the guy talks about all the stuff about it as well. And I've been looking for these videos to pop up during the week so I can get the channel name and remember it, and it's just not coming up here for me this week so I can pull it out. Hang on here. Nope, we're not going to make it to the Food Independent Summit this year. Maybe next year. Let's see here. Let me try this so I can find this out. This other one's a really good channel. And my subscriptions. There we go. Subscriptions. I'm going to blow through my subscriptions here real fast. See if I can find it here. And I clear it out. Soil. Where are you? I wish I could get this to go alphabetical on my subscriptions. Then it would be work. Then I could find stuff really quick. But it does not like to do. Hang on. All subscriptions. I'm trying playing it something here. We'll see if it'll do it here for me. It's still not going. What's relevant? A to Z. Wow, there we go. So now you look to S, and I can tell you what the name of it is. Hang. Really? It only goes up to D and stops? Oh, there it goes. Now it's loading again. Boy, it just doesn't want to give things nice and easy to you here. I didn't know I was subscribed to this. I guess a lot of these channels I'm subscribed to aren't putting out videos anymore. Up to the M's, folks, getting there. Hey, Diana, how's it going? Waste, Pennsylvania, that. Prepping Sarge, Alley Garden, Red Poppy Ranch, getting closer. So, getting there. SI. Soilworks LLC. That's the channel. Here you guys go. Soilworks LLC. This is one to subscribe to and talk about everything, how to make healthier soil naturally, how to tell what things are missing. And here it is right here. Weeds are not the problem is the one, it's been out 9 months ago they put it out. This is a good one, and he talks about what the weeds means your soil is missing. And Mark beat me to it. Okay, yeah, he posted the link to it. Yeah. But yeah, the weeds are not the problem video is probably one of the best ones. But then they go around and they talk about all the different things that do it, till versus no tillage, all the different things about helping your soil and everything else. There's a boatload of videos on it, and they got shorts and everything else on it. But yeah, interesting. They don't do any live streams, so they just post the videos they go through doing it. They have to talk about the soil electric conductivity and measuring the heartbeat of the soil. But yeah, they talk a lot about in the soil. Weeds are not the problem. Talks about what minerals you need to add to your soil, including also what like carbon. Is carbon a mineral? Anybody? Is carbon a mineral? That's one of the things they talk about too, about your soil needing carbon and stuff like that to be healthy. And of course, Howie's always saying add biochar to it, which is carbon. Talk about compaction too. Yeah. Yeah. And weed is just a plant out of place. Well, it's not just out of place. Sometimes it's growing there because the soil's not healthy for anything else, and the soil wants to have something growing there. How do you till little pots? Simple. You take the little pots, you get your fork out, and you kind of whip it like you're scrambling eggs, and you till your soil. I hope you enjoyed that little one, Kaylin. But yeah, so the Soil LLC is one of the ones to really do learn about the minerals and stuff. Of course, everyone, we all know that calcium is a big one for tomatoes, because if your soil is low on calcium, one of the first signs you're going to see that with your tomatoes once it starts bearing fruit is blossom end rot. And I know several years back, Courtney and Dustin were there, and they were adding calcium to their. I think, I'm not sure they're using lime or fast-acting gypsum, and we're adding that to the soil, and almost immediately the blossom end rot stopped. And actually, as I was having the same problem that year, it's like, oh, really? I went out and added a bunch to mine, and I actually had several tomatoes heal from the blossom end rot because I put enough calcium out there that they were able to just pull up what they needed. Yeah, I keep forgetting you're the one that emailed me the link to SoilWorks. And he also talks about the one thing to find out how your soil's doing is let me see if I can bring it up here. Go through my wish list here, find the right one. Did I put it in garden tools? Let's see here. Yes, I put it in garden tools. All right, so in one of my wish lists on Amazon, I got, the one dropped the price off of it. This is called a Brix meter, Brix refraction meter. And the more expensive one sold out, believe it or not. So the cheaper one is still here. And cheaper one is $19. But it helps you, to determine all sorts of cool things about it. Watch the video on the Brix meter there on SoilWorks. Hi, Mark.
Hey.
And I found it really interesting, though, the way we did this and everything else, and what it shows, what you can learn.
That thing is cool.
Yes.
Wow, it's only $18. The last one I saw was like $100.
Yes, the other one here, which is currently out. Oh, see buying options. All right, let's go see all the buying options on it. 137. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the high quality one. The other one's the Walmart special.
Yeah. I'd kind of go, if you're gonna do it once, if nothing else, see if somebody already bought a good one and just see if they can come over or you can borrow it. But if you buy one, you may want to let other people borrow it then.
Yeah. But yeah, this is the high dollar one here, and that's the cheaper one right below it there.
Yeah.
Oh, here's even a cheaper one, $15.99. Oh.
He talks about that in one of his videos, how people are like, oh yeah, we bought it, I don't know how to use it, I can't change anything, and because they're doing it wrong.
Yes. And he explains how to do it right, to change things, including how much minerals to add, whether it's calcium, magnesium, potassium, whatever it is. He talks about it a lot. So, the SoilWorks LLC is a great YouTube channel to get your garden and your lawn and your pasture healthy again.
Yeah, you want to gain a lot of knowledge and lose a lot of personal time. Start binge watching that because you won't stop. I did.
Yeah. If you can't sleep at night sometime, and
he'll put you to sleep. He has that voice.
He'll put you to sleep, or you'll do some binge watching during the night before you finally do fall asleep. Either he's going to keep you awake for 24 hours straight. Just my eyes are about this big. Oh wow! But yeah, it's.
I like the soil compaction rod he's got. That's cool because that says a lot for your soil.
Yeah. Mother Earth Garden Club, yay! Woo-hoo. Yeah, but the bricks meter here is what's the other one here? Yeah, so that one there has the shows what the scales are, and the numbers mean something. When you're looking at it, the numbers mean something very important, and it tells you what you need to worry about and stuff. And I was surprised when he was using that to talk about that it also showed how much carbon your soil is missing. And so, yeah, that was one thing it's just like I haven't, before I pull the trigger and get that good one, I gotta sit down with the staff sergeant, have her watch 2 or 3 of his videos on that, and then to get her to say, okay, yeah, you can get it.
Yeah, she'll have you buying that and the other 2 things he has. He's got the bricks meter, the compression one, and there's one other thing he uses, and I forget what it is right now.
Yeah.
I looked at all 3 of them. I was like, oh, crap.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't put the other ones in here yet, but in my wish list for it. But yeah, there are some good stuff, and that's the Soilworks LLC YouTube channel. I can't say enough about them. Then of course there's Howie, Food Forest Permaculture. And Howie sometimes talks about minerals, usually talks about just biomass and the plants and stuff. Yes, so, like if you have dandelions in your yard, what they're trying to do, they're trying to bring the calcium up. There's several other ones that try to have deep roots that are trying to bring the minerals and nutrients up from down deep. So, yeah, so that's the soil is trying to tell you what's wrong with it by allowing certain plants to grow there, aka weeds to grow, because you don't want them there. They're other than star thistle, then some of them may not necessarily be bad. Some of them are actually kind of good, like dandelion is kind of good, but
we call everything a weed because we just don't want it. I only want my pepper plants. I don't want these other weeds.
What about your tomatoes?
They're a weed.
They're a weed.
They're going to be a weed here in a month or so if I can get out there without the rain.
Okay, what did Kaylin say here? Since I didn't plant last year in this
my pots are seriously compacted. Yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah. Well, at least that's easier to do. If you got a 5-gallon bucket, you can start dumping them out and then breaking them up. You can add, you can, get a small bag of whatever, peat moss and add to it. That'll make it all nice and fluffy and it'll help stabilize the pH of the soil as well.
And throw a little vermiculite, a little perlite in there for aeration and water drainage and water holding.
Yeah. And things, if you're doing that for pots, raised planter beds, same thing. And what's interesting is everyone talks about, or not everyone, but a lot of people talk about no-till, don't till the soil. But even guys like Howie will get out there. They won't till it, but they'll use a shovel and just turn it over.
Yeah.
So you're turning chunks over and turning it over and doing stuff. And here comes Lewis. Hey, Lewis.
Hey.
Hey.
And so turning the soil over, while isn't chopping it all up like a rototiller will, yeah, you can turn it over with worms still in it, and they'll do okay. And when you're turning the organic on the top down into it and adding oxygen back into it, that's going to help out with some of the things, especially if you're adding like the garden lime or the gypsum or the just trying to
the potash,
the potash or the biochar or the azomite or the green sand or any of those other things to it at the same time. You just turn it over. That gets that working down into it, and then the it begins with an M. I just lost the word. It's on the tip of my tongue.
No idea.
Got to go back and see. Angels typed it in earlier. Mycelium.
Oh, mycelium. Yeah, for like the mushroom roots. Yeah.
Yeah, but it gets everything going and moving stuff.
Yeah, it's good for the biome.
And it just kind of mixes everything up and carries this mineral from this area where it's plenty of it over to this area here where there's not as much. It helps moving stuff around. And yeah.
That's why I have the tiller attachment for the tractor. I'm going to use it, but I don't want to use it every year. I'd rather I forget what they call it. It's got the those disc rotors on the back that you just pull, and it literally cuts in and turns the soil over.
Okay, that's all right. There's two different things here, and we're going to share that with everybody here real quick.
Yeah, I was about to say something like that. The farmers, when they're doing it, they got the discers, right? Yep. And that basically gets the first maybe 6 inches, but then they've got a deep one, like for deeper with the big arm hooks. Right over, and what they're doing is getting the stuff that's washed down like a foot or two into the ground and bringing it back up. Right. All that minerals that's down there.
Yeah, you're showing like arrows.
This is a bottom plow, and this is like using a shovel just to turn it over.
Right.
And some bottom plows come with a disc cutter on it, so it cuts clean and flips it nice. Some of them come with just like you can tow this like this one. You actually tow it behind your 4x4 if you want to go out there and do it.
Yeah, good. You better have a powerful 4x4 to dig the ground up with that.
Or your Model T, and they made tractors called Bugadoodles out of Model Ts and Model As. He uses tractors with a double bottom plows.
Oh, yes. Now I was looking for the one with the discs on it.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to get to those in a second. So these are different ones here, and how deep you go with the disc that determines how much power you're going to need. Here's a single bottom plow turning.
Yeah, that's what they would use. Like a horse would pull that.
Yeah. Or unless you had a steam engine, and then you could do what the guys did when they set that record with 40 bottom plows all at one time, and a steam engine just going chug it. Woo-hoo! Yeah. Anyways, disc plow. They call it different things. All right. So these are disc plows, and you can get them for different sizes and stuff. The ones I have don't have the scallops on them. They're all nice. They're all smooth, but it's double road like that. Mine's a little bit bigger like that. Then there are the then there's the ones that are 50-50. They chop it up, and then they have the other one. But generally what happens is, let me see if I can find a anyways, when Curtis was helping me out trying to rejuvenate the soil out here, he brought his diesel tractor over, his old Ford with a double bottom plow on it, and went around, and then I followed behind it with the Ford 9N, the 1939 Ford tractor with this on it. And so he made several passes first, and I come out and start catching up to him, and I'd take the big chunks that he turned over and break them up a little bit.
Right.
And the soil and the stuff just grew like wildfire, after that, including the weeds, including the invasive Russian bloom that was imported that the cows did not like. That's the only reason why they imported it, because they thought cows would like it. Okay, those are disc plows, and this is a disc harrow. See if it shows anything different. No, it's basically showing the same daggone thing. But a harrow is more for breaking up. There we go. So there's that's more of a harrow system where it digs up, flattens it, and then has the back rakers on. So there's all sorts of little things, But if you're, depending, like for Mark saying when he's got a tractor, something like this is probably all Mark's going to need with, hook on there and get the wider one. That's wide like that or something.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna run that. My field has not been turned over anything in probably 25 years or more.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna do it once with the tiller, and then we'll see what happens after. I'll see what the neighbor has.
Yeah.
Because he plants wheat and stuff. Another neighbor has stuff. So they might let me borrow one.
Yeah.
Or if I see him drive by with it hanging off the back, I'm like, hey, it's $50. Run my field quick.
Yeah. Mark, how many acres you planning on doing, Mark?
Well, I got 3.5, almost 4. That is my field. The rest is all wooded. I'm not taking.
So like,
it's not a lot.
But I mean, for the garden, are you going to do like a half acre or an acre for your garden?
Like coming up like shortly? No, I'm just going to run like two like maybe 50, 100-foot or not 2 stripes, like 1, 2, 3, 400-foot stripes. And because I got lots of space now, not just because the one near the bottom where it's always wet, that's where I'm going to throw all my tomato seeds down there. Let that just have at it, and then I'll put in the purple top turnip, the peas, and the radishes. It's all deer plot food, but everybody's saying that deer don't like radishes and turnips. I'm like, okay, whatever. Then I'll have 8 million turnips to process and give away and eat.
All right, so
I would almost recommend you using the other one, the one that Gil isn't showing, the other one, the one that gets deep. So in case if you hit any boulders, right, it might break that machine, but it not as bad as this one Gil's showing, right? Like if you get any big fissures, like boulders in the ground.
I'm pretty sure my field was rocked out a long time ago because I've been pushing over these pine trees, and I've yet to see anything bigger than a golf ball. No rocks, no boulders. I don't have rocks sticking up out of the ground. I got worms everywhere, and I'm like, oh, hell yeah. We're playing here.
One of the things to consider here, Farmall Fanatic here, like Kaylin's saying, he uses different harrows, plows, bottom plows, discs, and he has, go through the field with one and have the other tractor hooked up to another one, and he'll go behind it with the next thing. And that's like here when they plow here, they don't plow in the fall. They disc in the fall to kind of break up a little bit some of the biomass and get it in, but that's about it. They kind of want the biomass down and breaking down over the winter. Right. In the spring, they'll before they even hit it, they get the manure trucks from the dairies to come out here and just start slinging cow poo everywhere. Then they go out and they bottom plow, and the wide bottom plow units going out there, big, a lot big, about 4 times as big as that. And then they're right behind it with another tractor that has like back end attachments here, where they have the choppers on it and the smoother and everything. And when they go, so the first one goes through, turns the big chunks over. The next one, then they disc it, and then they go through with the smoother and everything else. And sometimes they'll plant right away after that smoother goes through. They'll go ahead and follow it with a seed drill and put down the seeds. Other times they'll wait a little bit to make sure what the weather is going to do.
Mm-hmm. Right before the rain, do it for them.
And then they'll go out.
Depending on the fields or certain spots in the field, they'll go pick up rocks before they do anything. After
no rocks here. Everything here has been done 50, 60 years ago. All the rocks have been removed. And
I'm speaking for mostly for Canada.
Yeah. Canada doesn't do as much farming as we do down here, as far as as long and as intense like they do down here. Laura Farms. Either just before she got married or right after she got married, about 5-6 years ago, she bought I don't know how many acres. They did the grants and stuff, and her husband, whose name is Grant, by the way, and they combined lots and stuff and started doing stuff. They were vitalizing the one farm that she bought, and every now and then they will find one rock out there. They'll go through an area, nothing there this year, nothing there that year. Next year, where did that rock come from?
Yeah, the frost heaves brought it up from 6 feet down.
And
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. And so what what happens is, like I said, they probably brought it up with the bottom plow, but where does it wind up? In the disc. So it gets in between the disc and starts going around with a thunk. Okay.
Yeah.
He gets on the radio. Someone comes out with the 4-wheel drive pickup or one of the quads or whatever, and with a big pry bars and stuff to get it out. They toss it in the back to haul it off, and then on they go with it.
Yeah, that's the only thing. I'm sort of worried about hitting that with the tiller.
I've seen boulders.
Yeah.
I've seen boulders break the shaft.
Yeah.
I've seen boulders break the entire shaft, like right in half, and they got to take it out. They've tried welding it, put it back in, and 5 minutes later, it's broken again. The weld, and they've had to reorder an entire shaft.
Yep.
Like one that holds like discs.
Yeah, that's why. I mean, all my PTO stuff has a shear pin on it.
Yeah.
So if something gets jammed in there, it'll break. The shear pins are a whole lot cheaper than a freaking PTO shaft.
Oh yeah.
No, not the PTO shaft. Where where all the discs are, right? The shaft that holds a bunch.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
He means this little shaft down in between there.
Yep.
Yeah, boulder gets caught in there, goes around, and then boom, snaps. Right.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, hang on. I just realized what this is a picture of.
It's a little one.
That is like the
It's like the mantis thing. Yeah.
Yeah. No. It's the company. Oh geez. They have the stirrup. They have all the attachments on it. Everything's interchangeable on it, and it's the walk behind thing. You just kind of walk behind and disc everything on it, and you switch up your things. And this is all they're showing is the ones on Amazon. They're not showing the other one. I can't get the company name now. Haas. Thank you, Suburban Hillbilly. Haas and then Jack right behind him. Well, it says Haas on the handle. Here's one that actually is from Haas. This is Haas. This one was listed as Haas. But yeah. But anyways, yeah, one of the interesting things about minerals in the soil and everything, we always, back in California stuff, we try to get the finest sand to put out there in the soil, and they say, "Oh no, you're gonna make cement." Well, no, because we add in the biomass and everything else, and all the other things we need to break up the soil. And of course, we didn't have clay there, or where there was clay, it was just a thin layer. But after we put a sand in one year, the next year we had bigger, healthier looking plants because of the minerals on it. And what is sand? Ground up granite and stuff. So
sand's also good for drainage as well too.
Yeah.
The triple mix up here in Canada, a part of the triple mix, it actually is sand in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need sand. You need sand for drainage and keep the soil fluffy for like potatoes and that.
Yeah.
So,
and a lot of the biomass in there too.
Yeah, the other good thing I got is my whole lower, I think it's the northwest side of the property is like it's always wet. It's swampy, like in the late spring. Yeah, you ain't walking in there. I mean, you'll just sink in the muck, but it's all growing. And it's all, I know that's like pure biomass in there. So I'm going to go in there when it dries out a little bit and get a couple scoops and mix that in and add that back into the soil. Just why not? I got it.
Yeah.
It's free fertilizer for me.
Yeah. In regards to this, you can never have long to remove all the rocks.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Yeah,
there are some neat little toe behind attachments, and there's some that even go on the front too.
Yep, you got the rock hound that goes on the front of your Bobcat or your PTO in the front. Yeah, those are cool. You got to empty them all the time. Oh, it breaks it up and shoots the rocks into a bucket, and then you just got to go dump the bucket and then go back and finish where you left off. Yeah, rock rakes.
Yeah, that was I was hoping they were going to show the big
we got
these. There's a big one similar to this, a little bigger, and what it does is it just fills up the hopper. You just drive up alongside of it like you do of a grain cart. Only it's like a dump trailer, and it just all of a sudden it fills up the trailer full of rock. I was watching some videos on that.
Yeah, we got those up here in Canada. We pull them behind the tractors, and they'll pick up rocks. It's like clunk, 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 and then they just go to the side of the field somewhere and they dump it out.
Yeah.
Or if there's a big, huge rock, they got this. It's like a pitchfork, but for your front end loader thing. You can go in there and scoop out the rock, dig out the big rock, and it'll drop all the dirt.
Yeah, it's like a giant sifter.
And here's the 3.1 version.
Yeah,
I have one just like that goes through. Yeah, there it is. Here we go. There it is on the front. Yeah, you can just go through and just.
That's what the kind we got.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to lift up and give it a shake every now and then to get the dirt out.
Yeah. Well, it also depends how wet the dirt is, the soil is, and what's going on. But yeah. Anyways, but for your, of course, like that, I got 4 acres on the other side, about 3.5 acres to put garden in. Now, my son-in-law's planting more apples and cherry trees and everything else, and they're fighting the deer. The deer's not touching the apples, not touching the apricots. The cherry trees, the deer go after and stomp the baby cherry trees. They don't like them.
Did he ever think to maybe put some fence around them, just to keep the animals out?
But we're in the city. I tried to explain it. No, well, you need to put a fence around that and go up at least 6 feet, if not 8 feet tall, and out about 4 or 5 feet away from it. And one which you can lift it up, get it into the weed eater, and then set it back down again. I showed him how to do it, and he's
whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen some channels doing that where they got deer there and they put chain link fence and they put in some rebars, T-posts, and then they put chain link fence around it, like 4 or 5 feet away for like around, like away from the trunk.
I preferably prefer the hot wires.
Yeah.
Run randomly out there.
That'll keep the deer guessing.
Yeah, exactly. CB is in the house, and that's one of the things with it is that if you're worried about the deer and stuff out there, other critters, they have different heights of the electric fences. You can go with a 2-foot high one around. Well, the deer are just going to jump over that. Yeah, except before they get to that, they've walked into the 4-foot high one.
Yeah, and usually they put their nose down to sniff what it is and get snapped.
Yeah. So the other fence will walk up. Yeah, get on that. Yeah.
Hey, just run 208 3-phase out there or single phase, and you got free cooked barbecue deer ready to go.
No. If you're running 3-phase, you're running 460 out there.
Well, if you got 460 where you're at, but yeah.
Yeah, got a transformer right up on the pole here, 460 3-phase.
Put a 200 amp breaker on there, and you're good to go.
No. You're going light again. You want to put a 600 amp breaker on there.
Yeah, I can't afford a 600 amp breaker, so I'll go with the 208 with a 100 amp breaker. I don't have that much money to burn, literally.
Oh, lost him. I guess he dropped off internet up there.
Must be. He must have gotten a rock in the system.
Oh, all right. I just noticed the time we've gone over a little bit. We finally got rolling here. Yeah, but there he is back. But yeah, so the you can pick up the green sand. You can order it from Amazon. You can order from different places. You can order the Amazite, the azomite,
azomite.
Yeah, you can order that from a lot of places.
Hey, Lewis, hit your mute button. You're echoing.
Got feedback, Lewis. And yeah, so you can order that for in like the 5-pound bags, the 10-pound bags, the 25-pound bags for your raised planter beds or whatever. I bet you can even get a 1-pound bag there, Kaylin, for those patio. I mean the balcony gardens. But yeah, you can get the different size bags and stuff, and you don't have to use the whole bag at one shot. Add a little bit to it, test it, see how it's going. And fortunately with minerals, once you get the minerals to the right level, you can go a couple of years before all of a sudden, oh, well, this mineral's dropping off. We need to replace that one. You don't have to replace all of them at the same time. There's
minerals don't disappear. They just drain down into the soil lower, depending on your compaction.
Yeah. And sometimes they get used up by the plants. They keep, all the roots get in there, keep breaking up smaller and smaller and smaller and absorbing it. But yeah, it's, minerals is a longer term thing. Also, if you're adding minerals such as sulfur, and I forget the other one, that's sulfur something or other, to lower the pH, they were saying, yeah, you got the first couple of years you do it kind of heavy, or do multiple things of it. After you do it for a couple of years, then you get a skip a year, and then you add some, and you maybe skip 2 years. To once you get your balance right, your pH balance, your mineral balance, and everything balanced, then it becomes a better garden, and you don't have to work on that much.
Yeah, composting is a good thing too, because it breaks down and adds those minerals back too.
Yeah, that's one of the things. You don't throw all your meats, your fats, your beef bones, whatever, all the gristle. Don't throw that away. Put that in a composter. Some people are going to go, oh, you can't compost that. Mother Nature composts dead animals all the time.
I love it. If you compost meat, you're going to get rats. I don't have rats around here, and they're not going to come in from 40 miles away because they smell me putting a steak bone and some grizzle meat in the bottom of my mulch pile. You might get a raccoon trying to dig it up, but that's another story. Oh, wait, that would be me. Oh, wait, I'm a dog today. That's right.
Yeah. I've noticed with the yellow sticky traps, some of them have a different color yellow on them. Some of them, when I put the black light on them, oh, man, they just kind of, and they're shining there bright at night when I turn the black light on it, and the gnats just go to that particular one. The others are just kind of yellow. They're not any type of fluorescence in them. All right, let's see. But yeah. So minerals help your garden do better. Helps your garden produce healthier food for you. And you can you need to return the favor by adding minerals to it and all the nice fun stuff. And so, yeah, don't throw out your food scraps, compost them. And some people go, oh, it stinks. Well, add, that's the other thing. You can add baking soda to your compost pile. A little bit, not a lot. It'll help keep the odor down. And if you see the little beetles in your compost pile, don't freak out and kill them. Let them eat the meat, because then they poop into the compost pile, and the poop is compost.
Yeah, most bugs, if bugs are in your soil eating stuff, yeah, they're doing it for a reason, because they're like worms. They're just turning it into dirt.
Yeah, and the maggots, the black, the black beetles.
Yep,
all those things. If
even those things, what we call them, roly-polies or potato bugs.
Yeah. And interesting, roly-polies also absorb a lot of heavy metals.
Yeah, they absorb it, but when they die, it's got to go somewhere, so it just goes right back in your soil.
Well, interesting. One of the articles I read talking about that. So in certain plants and bugs, insects, when they absorb heavy metals, something happens. It changes the compound of the metal of its internal digestive system or something.
Oh, so it's now it's a light metal.
Yeah.
Or a poopy metal.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So, and that thing is special, like with sunflowers. The seeds don't have the heavy metals in it. The stalk is where it stores the heavy metals. So yeah, you could cut the stalks and you send to the landfill if you're trying to remove heavy metals. All right, so coming up here tomorrow on Camppatton, on Gray Man Prepping for Survival Saturday after California falls into the sea. And what are your plans besides watching Steve out there yelling at the crew, row, row, row? If you don't know what I'm talking about, Steve's Corsair Trainers Monday morning talk. There's the channel members are the crew. Anybody that's not a member of the crew, they have to row. All right, Monday back here on Camppatton Family Compound. The topic is off-grid canning, and we're going to talk about all the fun stuff about canning, like Tammy does out when she's camping. That's off-grid canning. Steve already has a bullhorn.
Yeah, it's called Lungs and a Voice.
Marine voice.
Yeah.
So we're gonna Monday is talking about off-grid canning. Tactical Tuesday on Gray Man Prepping is going to be a little sensitive for some people and eye-opening for others. Do you have enough life insurance, and do you have the proper type of life insurance? Thursday is the Midnight Ride, and next Friday here the topic is I may change it up a little bit. Basically, right now it says
Froze.
It says repair your garden tools. I want to expand that just a little bit more to preventative maintenance and repair and preventative maintenance of your tools. So we're going to talk about all your garden tools and all the things you need to do in the garden, taking care of them, and all the really neat stuff there, including. Let me get this up here. Including some other cool ones I just found out about for these little. Come on here. There we go. These type of weeding tools and stuff like that. Bet you guys never saw anything quite like that, did you? Have you? Interesting set of tools for getting into the weeds and stuff. Anyways, so that's what's coming up next Friday, is talking about garden tools. All right, everyone. Thanks for coming by. And have you started planting your seeds yet? I just planted another 150 seeds this morning. Just of one plant, and then I planted a bunch more watermelon seeds and some more pumpkin seeds and a bunch of lettuce seeds too.
Cool.
So, yeah. All right, everyone. Have a good night, and work on what you're going to do to your garden to make it better. All right. Take care.
Have a good night.
Have a good night.